find yourself sitting on your couch, a piping hot dinner in front of you, the aroma calling to you, beckoning you to take the first bite.
Man, I can't wait to dig in.
You think to yourself as your gaze moves towards the coffee table, where the remote usually is. Strange, you could have sworn you left it there.
Where's the remote?
You feel between the couch cushions. You check under the couch, in the freezer. All to no avail. All the while your dinner lays, getting cold, mocking you. Maybe just one bite won't hurt, you think to yourself as you slowly creep towards the food. You take a small bite. Instantly, you fall to the floor as you taste blood in your mouth. Your vision blurs. You feel your heart slowly stop beating. And through your hazy vision, you see the remote innocently lying under the coffee table. The last thought that runs through your head fills you with deep sorrow.
If only I could have watched YouTube while I ate.
We've all been there. The endless scrolling through videos that are of no interest to you, all the while your food lay in front of you, unable to be eaten, till you find that one video. Well, humans have had meals with the show since the beginning of time, whether it be a story around a campfire or a jester telling jokes to the king. Today, we're going to look into the many traditions that humans have developed and kept through the years, while feasting into the modern age, and explore whether the habit is beneficial or harmful to partake in this episode of Mindframe. Even in the earliest civilizations, there were many different traditions regarding feasts. In the years 3100 to 30 BC of ancient Egypt, extravagant banquets were held and hosted by the ruling pharaohs, which involved exotic foods such as figs, geese, and beer, and hosted a variety of entertainment spectacles such as music, dancers, and acrobatics. Some banquet goers would even wear perfume cones on their heads that released fragrance as the night went on. These banquets were usually held as offerings for goodwill with the gods, and to celebrate them. Another culture known for their large and fantastical banquets was ancient Greece. Around 800 BC, banquets were held in two parts, the deipnon, or the meal, and the symposium. Deipnons was the actual feast of the banquet. Foods were served such as bread, cheese, olives, lentils, figs, and occasionally meat, which was usually sacrificed to the gods. Drinking was kept minimal at this stage of the banquet to save until the next part. The symposiums were the second part of the feast. It was a meeting of the elite Greek men where they drank, socialized, and discussed current philosophy. Women were not allowed at these events, except for entertainers such as flute girls, dancers, or courtesans. Wine was only drank undiluted, due to the process of diluting being considered barbaric at the time. Games were also played, such as kodabos, and games where men flicked wine dregs at targets. Going into the Middle Ages, dining practices became more refined. Banquets were held for politic ceremonies, displays of power, and religious ceremonies. Dishes were still served communally with the Lord at the high table, and minimal cutlery was used, mostly knives. These banquets usually held minstrels, jesters, and troubadours to entertain the guests. And dishes during this time usually consisted of roast game, pies, sauces, and exotic spices such as pepper and cinnamon. The Renaissance period brought about proper dining etiquette. No longer were banquets a free-for-all. Individual plates, forks, and knives were served to banquet goers. Banquets became theatrical, involving many different courses of meals. Sculptures and surprises such as birds were released in celebration. It redefined times of celebration for a stage of art, innovation, and status. Some more notable peculiarities of dining during this time included roasted animals that were redressed with fur to look uncooked. Pies came with live animals and sometimes even people inside. 4 and 24 blackbirds was a pie that would be cut into only to have birds fly out of it. And these would also sometimes have a child musician or a dwarf hiding in the dish to come out and perform when it was cut into. Food also started being dyed and cut into different shapes to give a unique look. During this time period, it wasn't just about food anymore. Patrons expected a unique dining experience with entertainment and surprises to make a memorable evening. Much like the Renaissance, dining during the early modern era of the 16th through the 19th centuries was made to be theatrical and entertaining. Banquets were becoming more refined as dining etiquette became more proper. Shows and music were still being held, but with the modern age came modern inventions. Food was now a sight conversation piece, as the meals became more elaborate and the recipes more refined. Masquerades were becoming popular, where attendees would wear costumes and watch performances. Tableaux vivants, or living pictures, were shows where performers would pose silently to form symbolic or mythological scenes. Some banquets or celebrations would have a current technological advancement on display, such as clockwork-driven devices like moving animals, miniature fountains, or mechanical musicians. This was an era of innovation and luxury. With new innovations being produced every day, dining was becoming much more than that of purely eating. With the rapid advancement of technology, dining became more of a standardized process in cities, thanks to mass production and transportation. This brought about the rise of department store tea rooms and railroad dining cars. Home dining was still formal and mattered, but particular to the upper class. Prohibition in the United States brought about speakeasies which offered secret dining and jazz-fueled experiences. There was live music in upscale restaurants, usually featuring pianists, string quartets, or small orchestras. Hotel ballrooms featured extravagant dinners with dance music such as ragtime, and cabarets came to the forefront of the dining experience, with visitors being treated to food and beverages while getting the opportunity to view theatrical performances and comedy routines in an intimate setting. Novelty restaurants also became available and offered opportunities for customers to experience cuisine from around the world, such as French cafes and Oriental tea houses. And back at home, families could enjoy music from phonographs, storytelling, or singing around the piano. And with the invention of the radio, families were also able to connect to the rest of the country for news and music, bringing together an entire country with fast, on-demand history for the first time ever. Because of the Second World War, the world was changing in many ways. The late 40s began to not only change politically, but also in the way that we dined. During the war, families and soldiers alike were forced into rations. When the war ended, however, processed food was created. It could be easily made and was widely accessible. Some of these products was known as the TV dinners, which families could buy and easily prepare. With the introduction of the television in 1954, families could now eat and watch whatever was showing on their local networks while they ate. The suburban boom brought about the birth of fast food, a very easy and accessible way to dine. No longer would workers need prepared meals for lunch, when they could get fast and reliable food on demand from a growing selection of chains.
I think that's about it.
And then?
No, that's it.
And then?
No and then. That's all I want.
In the 60s and 70s, microwaves became mainstream, allowing the quick heating of leftovers of any food you can imagine, completely changing the dining culture forever. Color television was soon introduced, allowing families to enjoy their favorite sitcoms in full color from their homes. Fondue parties, Tupperware parties, and the cocktail culture dominated the scene. In the 80s, buffets, food courts, and chain dining surged. Home dining featured frozen meals and branded kitchen gadgets, as well as recipe sharing through magazines and television. The introduction of the VCR also let families bring home their favorite shows and movies, and allowed them to tape the television programs to watch later. Dinner theaters also gained popularity at this time, and to view a movie while dining was truly the ultimate experience. Beginning in the 1990s, the digital age and the introduction of the internet finally connected the world in a way that had never been achieved in the history of humanity. Instant communication, emails, text messages, online movies and videos changed how we received information, as well as different dining experiences. The 90s brought about the rise of celebrity chefs, as well as food-related television and cooking shows.
No. Oh my God, young man. Kill yourself!
Food had become an integral part of society, giving people a way to broadcast themselves through food creation. Dining out, once again, became an experience, with themed restaurants becoming more local, such as the Rainforest Cafe in medieval times. But in 2005, YouTube launched with its first video.
Alright, so here we are in front of the elephants.
Allowing users to upload their own homemade content. This allowed viewers to choose what they wanted to watch at any time on demand. And further down the timeline, streaming platforms were introduced, which allowed for on-demand digital movies whenever and wherever. But particularly, the introduction of the smartphone allowed for media viewing wherever you were, allowing you to enjoy your favorite meals to whatever content you wanted, whenever, with no time limit. But after the invention of the television, something has felt different about the experience. Is sitting alone in your room really a good way to enjoy a meal? A 2016 study from PubMed found that even before YouTube, having a TV screen present during mealtime was detrimental to the dietary and emotional health of children. M. Nathan at Georgia College and State University published an analysis in 2022 that backed up these hypotheses. The NIH notes that the obesity rate among children and adolescents alike has tripled since the invention of the television. So what gives? Why did the civilizations of old get away with the hobby, while we're getting all the negative outcomes? Well, the key may not be with the screens themselves, but what we associate the screens with. Not that we necessarily need a study to tell us, but a study published in 2022 in the NLM notes that in the modern day, we tend to use our screens to produce escapism. Escapism is defined as the tendency to seek distraction and relief from unpleasant realities, especially by seeking entertainment or engaging in fantasy. And excessive online use is often used as a distraction that creates a tunnel effect in our brains. Adding the dopamine capabilities of our favorite foods can exacerbate the feeling of contentment that comes with YouTube mealtime. The Institute of Child Psychology states that TV dinners with the family, however, can have positive effects on children's psychology, particularly regarding the family. It was also helpful in increasing vocabulary and lowering risk behaviors. It provided a dialogue for kids and their parents to discuss, especially during weekly serialized dinners. In short, it's not the screens that are harmful. It's using your mealtime to be alone and distracted. With the little time we get with our favorite food, we tend to distract ourselves with entertainment instead of focusing on the food, the taste, where it came from, or why we like it. The ancient civilizations had a detail far different than the hobbyists today. They were together, they were moving, they were socializing. They weren't totally focused on the medium that was meant to pull them out of reality completely. There are plenty of studies that affirm that eating together reaps positive impacts on physical, mental, and social health in humans. So how can we avoid the negative consequences of our favorite food pastime? Well, call up some friends, co-workers, family members. Start having TV dinners with the people you hold dear. We don't have to spend every moment escaping the meal and escaping reality. Sometimes it's better to be present and in the moment and enjoy a meal together. Even watching a show or some YouTube videos together can increase dialogue and bonding during the mealtime. I think we can all agree that the more time we spend with our loved ones, the better. We as humans have been dining and partying since the dawn of time. Although our methods and the type of content we view while eating have changed, and we always have wanted to eat and be entertained simultaneously. So how will dining change in the future? And how will entertainment supplement it? How will the effects of this hobby on human health evolve? Only time will tell. So next time you're struggling to find that perfect YouTube video, just remember, it's not your fault. Humans have been searching for it since the beginning of time. Just maybe call up a friend or two to help find the video quicker and enjoy America's favorite pastime together. You'll be glad you did. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. We've got our Patreon and Discord links in the description. Go and check them out. My friend Adam, who's joining our team on Mindframe, has provided most of the script for this video. I added some stuff at the end, but he did a great job. He's going to be helping us, and he was our famous actor at the beginning of the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this content, if you like the direction we're heading, let us know in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you'll always be notified when we put out new videos. Thanks guys.